Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode we explored most of Alefgard, the Dark World here. The only place we have left to explore is Hawksness Town, down in the desert to the southwest. We're gonna go there by the land because it's easier to get there. It's shorter than taking the boat. So it's pretty much a straight shot down. So we'll have probably less encounters here too in the land because we're able to cross over most of the plains. Once you get to the desert though, that will increase our encounter rate, but nothing too dangerous around here. Run into some wyverns and another new enemy here, the Vile Shadow. So not too difficult. They can cast the instant death spell Beat, which single targets a character. But other than that, they're not too bad. Remember, Beat doesn't have a very good accuracy. So, but other than that, like I said, not too much to worry about. So we've encountered worse enemies. Shouldn't take more than 2 rounds to take them all out, so we'll just head on over to the east and go to Hawksness. Hawksness, if you remember from my playthrough of Dragon Warrior 1, that was the Rune Village where we ended up finding Erdrick's armor. Because this game we now realize is before Chicken's adventure in Dragon Warrior 1, this town is actually intact. So, it was destroyed by the Dragon Lord's minions before Dragon Quest 1. Well, right now, it's still intact. Welcome to the desert town of Hawksness. I'm gonna learn a lot of stuff here. Unless the Master Archfiend is defeated, day shall never break in this land. We're gonna sell our silver shield here, and we're gonna be able to replace that with a Shield of Strength. The Shield of Strength, just like in Dragon Warrior 2, if you use it in battle, can cast the Heal More spell. So theoretically, we're going to buy one for everybody, but we're just going to buy one right now for Prince Ernie. And then that'll eventually be transferred down to Sadie when she becomes a soldier. So pretty much the best shield for like the soldier there. So, yeah, we're stocking up on Sadie equipment here. So when she finally makes that class change, once she probably reaches level 40 or 41, depending on when she gets the last spell. So that guy, that we used to, he's gonna have a kid and he's trying to think of a name. I'm gonna have a baby, and because of that, my husband's all the time trying to think of a name. Maybe you should name it Win. I am looking for some Oricon. I heard there was some in this town. Oricon is the, what was the, Sword of Kings was made out of. We learned that back in, Cole. Win, I said that name because, Win is the name of the shopkeeper, who last had, Erdrick's armor. So, we'll learn that kid's name later. An old man who sneezes a lot lives next door. Let's go talk to the old man who sneezes a lot. Achoo, achoo, who's spreading rumors about me? That's apparently from old Japanese like folklore, I guess, where when people you sneeze when people say something bad about you. Do you have the Sphere of Life? If you don't yet, I hear it's in the world above. That's why a lot of like Japanese animation cartoons, anime, you'll have like a character say something about another character, and they'll have that other character who was spoken badly about. Like they'll do like an off-screen shot of them and they'll be sneezing. I saw something really once in the pasture. Yeah, it was in the brush, I recall. So that's a clue for that, where that metal that Oricon is. You can head down to the horse pasture here, and all the horses say the same thing. They're not like Mr. Ed and they can't talk. We search right here in the middle, and we find the Oricon. Now we're just gonna have to take that to Cole, give it to the swordsmith who runs the item store. Maybe he can rebuild the Sword of Kings for us. But before we head to Cole, we want to talk with this last person who's hiding up here. I know about that, dear. A flute is buried 4 paces south of the Bath and Cole. So we get the final clue to tell us where the location of the fairy flute is. Unlike Dragon Quest 1, where the fairy flute put the golem to sleep, in this game it's going to be used to break the curse on Rubus. See, this is where we searched back in Dragon Warrior 1 to get the Erdrick's armor. It was at the base of a tree behind the weapon shop on the east side of town. Speaking of weapon shops, we are about to get Prince Ernie's best weapon, the Sword of Kings. So we were told that this guy who used to be in Japan, he fled when his wife was supposed to be sacrificed to the Orochi. And he was a very good swordsmith. And he likes to get stuff that's broken and repair it and then sell it. So he sounds like a really good handyman. So let's give him that Oricon, the broken sword. See if he can repair it. And he does a really good job on it. Basically, all you have to do, unlike Don Mahone in Dragon Quest 2, who needed you to save the game and then spend the day at the inn and then save the game and come back to him to do the flying water cloth. All you have to do for this guy is just sell him the Oricon and then leave the town and then come back and he will have the sword ready to be made. So yeah, real quick. Take like, a few dozen steps and he'll already have remade a sword. See, notice there's nothing there. But if once we leave town, we come back and we try to buy something from him again, he will have the Sword of Kings for sale. It's the only usable by Prince Ernie, but it's his strongest weapon. So we're gonna step outside town, come right back in, and luckily he bought that Oricon off for like pretty decent, over 20,000 gold. That basically is like 2/3 of the price of the Sword of Kings. Yeah, unfortunately you have to buy the sword. But that's what we've been saving all our gold for, so the only thing else we probably need after this would be I might get a falcon sword for Indy. That allows her to attack twice. Good for hunting metal babbles. So now if we go to buy something, there it is, Sword of Kings. 35,000, but it's going to be worth every single piece of gold. So it'll help us out in our the next area we're going to, which would be the cave to the northeast of, or northwest of Tantegel. We were told about that cave earlier, that there's a fissure in there that no one can like, that no one is like escaped from. We're gonna go check that out. I wanted to wait to hold that off until I got the Sword of Kings and also to get a Shield of Strength. That cave that we're going to is one of the reasons why we were stocking up on medical herbs. Inside this cave, there's going to be it's going to be like the pyramids, the basement of the pyramid, in that magic will not work. Items that do cast magic though still work, so the Shield of Strength will work. And if we wanted to, we can use like the Staff of Thunder to cast the Firebane spell. But our characters are doing more damage just by straight up fighting. So we're gonna head to that cave. Thankfully, it's a pretty small cave. It's very similar in size to the mountain cave. It's basically pretty much the same layout as it is in Dragon Warrior 1. So, although there is the only thing different about it is there's now a third floor. So, let's start walking to the cave. And now we run into some goopies here. The reason I keep in this battle, and even though we already fought goopies before, and usually I cut out battles where we've fought enemies, goopies summon help, and majority of the time they summon other goopies. However, they can sometimes summon these granite titans, which is going to be kind of like a mini-boss in Zoma's castle. there's going to be a room we're going to have to fight like 3 groups of 2 Granite Titans in a row. So it's the first time we're able to meet them. So they have a lot of hit points, pretty high defense, and they have that 1/4 chance to have a brutal hit. So yeah, they're pretty deadly. You can use the sap or defense spell on them. They have a 30% chance to avoid it. Same thing with sleep and surround spell. So those are the 2 defensive spells. They're really they have 70% chance though to avoid the beat defeat spell. So we can't really fight them like we did the Kraggles, the big octopuses in the ocean. We were just able to, we had a whole bunch of hit points, and we were able to just not worry about it because they easily fell to the beat spell or defeat spell. So no such luck with the Granite Titans. So we don't really have any encounters on the first floor here, but once we get on the second floor, we're going to run into a bunch of encounters against some pretty tough enemies. But one of the good things is that magic seal actually is going to hurt the enemies more than us. These Troll Kings here, one of the things they can do is they cast the Limbo spell. That's the spell that throws you back into, throws a character back to the eatery where you recruit them. So having them not be able to potentially warp one of your characters out of this dungeon is a real blessing. And so sometimes they'll just waste their turn casting that spell, the Limbo spell. Usually I can also drop the Thor sword. It's a sword that's like pretty similar to the Thunder sword. I think it's a little stronger than the Thunder sword, but it's very a rare kind of drop. So when I'm far enough to get into the max level, I'll end up getting one of them because there'll be so many enemies to fight. Get up to level 9 again, it's going to take a long time. So I did it for my test run though, and I ended up, I made sure to fight every single enemy that drops an item. And made sure that I fought all of them so I can get all those unique items. Like there's a Snow Blast sword that only one of these skeleton type enemies drop. The Thor sword that the King Trolls drop. These Archmages drop the Bounce Staff, which when you use in battle, casts the Bounce spell. This is another enemy that's really crippled by the anti-magic shield. So they can cast the highest fire spell, the Explode It. Although it's a very slim chance to do that. It's only like a little over 5% chance to do that. The main thing they like to do is they like to revive any other character if they come in a large group of characters, and any of the characters is taken out, they'll cast the revive spell in their AI script, so almost like a 70% chance. So we've got some winged demons here, not too difficult of an enemy. Finish them off, get some more experience. A lot of these enemies will end up be the same ones that we'll end up fighting in Zoma's castle, so it's a good test to see how well you'll fare in the last dungeon there. Might even be a little easier in the last dungeon because we'll have all access to our magic. Another new enemy here, the Salamander. Wanted to take him out before the Troll King because the Salamander has a fire breath. And breath attacks are not considered magic, so he can still use that breath attack and hit all of us for fire damage. So he's probably a little bit more dangerous than the troll, who, the Troll King, who might cast that Limbo spell, but I'm not worried about the Limbo spell here because the magic is all blocked in this area. So yeah, we'll get that message that, like, if somebody tries to cast a spell, it's blocked. That'll also help later on, because there's a Mimic downstairs. You won't have to switch out Indian Sadie's armor. Remember, we're carrying around those angel robes, just in case that we fight from a Mimic. You can put them on, and then that will prevent them from falling prey to the defeat spell. Speaking of items, I shifted the life ring onto Tennison, so she can gain hit points as she walks here. I had it on Prince Ernie, but Prince Ernie can heal between battles with or during battles with the Shield of Strength. So, pretty much ran out of medical herbs though. I used all them up. But like I said, thankfully this cave is pretty small, so we have more than enough healing, so... Once again, I'm gonna focus on the Hydra here, because they can use breath attack as well. So we want to get rid of them, so they're not targeting all our characters. Hit us with that breath. And then we'll take out the Troll King, who just gonna, we only have to worry about his physical attacks, because his deadly limbo spell ain't gonna work. So remember that eventually I'll, because I'm kind of lacking healing, eventually another thing that I can end up doing to help my survivability is, that I'll end up doing is, since Tennison keeps gaining hit points back, because thanks to the ring, I'll eventually move her up to the front, take over Indy's spot, and then also move Sadie up a little bit and then put Indy in the back. Because remember, the character in the back row only has like a 1% chance to be targeted with physical attacks. And that's all it's going to be, for the most part, we're going to suffer here, other than the breath attacks. Because any magic attacks, which can hit everybody, they're all going to be blocked because of the anti-magic field. Here at the thing, we're going to grab some money. And the big chest we really want to get is the one in the upper left. So we got the Sword of the Kings, we're going to get the second piece, the second sacred treasure, I guess you can call it. We'll be getting the Shield of Heroes coming up here, which is the best shield. Now it doesn't cast the Heal More spell like the Shield of Strength does, but it gives good defensive boosts. I think it has 5 more defense than the Shield of Strength, so definitely we'll put that on Prince Ernie. He's the only one who can use it. And that Shield of Strength that he has will end up, like I said, passes down to Sadie when she becomes becomes a soldier. That'll be the last class. Then we'll have we'll be able to show off every single class in the game. Here we go. We get the Shield of Heroes. Now they said that the archfiend came out of this hole, and we're going to see that this hole is kind of linked to the archfiend, but we can't just jump in this hole and find the archfiend. So we jump in this hole right here. It's just going to push us back out. Later on, though, spoiler, after we defeat the archfiend, we retreat from his castle using that hole. So, take the back way into his castle, but we can't use it. We gotta go the hard way. And that hard way will be crossing the little strait to get to Zoma's castle by using the Rainbow Bridge. We got all the items needed to make the Rainbow Bridge, the Stones of Sunlight and the Staff of Rain, but the guy who can combine them to make the Rainbow Drop, he doesn't trust us until we have the Amulet of Rubus. Rubus, we know, is imprisoned in the tower to the west of Cole, and you need the Fairy Flute to break the petrification curse on her. Well, we got the Fairy Flute, so it makes sense that the next place we're going to go to will be that tower. That tower, we've also learned, is the resting place for the last of the special items, the Armor of Radiance. So we'll be able to get Rubus, get her blessing, and then also get the Armor of Radiance, Prince Ernie's best armor. Pass things around here, see what we got. Yeah, running out of inventory, but eventually we'll be able to make some space. There's not too many more treasures left in the game, so we'll, and then once we get the Amulet of Rubus, we'll clear up a bunch of space, because we'll get rid of the Staff of Rain and the Stones of Sunlight, and then we can just go back to the vault then to get rid of a bunch of the other items that we won't be needing, so we'll probably be making 2 dives into Zoma's castle when we get to that point. First one is just to clear out all the treasures, similar to how we did with Barrimer's castle, although it's going to take much longer. Once you clear out all those treasures, we won't have to worry about mimics anymore, so we can just sell those angel robes, and that way we'll have plenty of room to stock up on items, probably medical herbs and stuff, just like we did in Dragon Quest 1. We wanted to conserve our MP for the end, because we had kind of a big boss gauntlet at the end. In the first game, you know, had the 2 bosses. You had the Dragon Lord, and then the Dragon Lord turned into his dragon self. This one we're going to have basically Zoma and his 3 main henchmen all in a row. So we'll definitely want to get all the treasure and jump out and save our game before we take on that big boss rush. We'll save our wizard's rings for later, so just get rid of them here, put them in the vault. We'll pick them up when we make our final push into Zoma's castle. So we'll probably do a little bit of level grinding. Not that we really need the levels to probably conquer Zoma's castle, but I want to get all the spells of the game, like I said, 100% everything, so I can show off all the spells. And 41 is when the hero can get his last spell, and also when the sage can get their last spell, the last wizard spell. Chance for the wizard, and lightning for the hero. And that one, lightning that hits like all the enemies, so. Remember, we can't save with the king anymore, because he's depressed because he learned about Zoma, so we'll have to save our game with the Chancellor. But that's okay, because he's right next to the king, so it's not like we had to go out of our way to save our game. But, we did a lot. 2 out of the 3 sacred treasures. We found the fairy flute to free Rubus, so now we're going to get the last sacred treasure and free Rubus in the next episode. Take care. Thanks for following along. Bye.